All right, Charleston, thank you. It's tax season, and every Monday leading up to tax day, we're highlighting the important information you need to know to make it easier to file your taxes for yourself and your business. Doug Snyder is here with us this morning. He is a certified public accountant and a tax advisor and a board member of the South Carolina Association of CPAs. Thanks so much for being here.
Good morning.
We appreciate it. We're less than a month away from the individual tax deadline, April 15th, and there's actually an important deadline happening today.
Absolutely. March 15th is the deadline for S-Corps and partnerships. However, when it falls on a weekend, it's the next business day, and that happens to be today.
Yeah.
Even though it's St. Patrick's Day,
yeah.
it's due today.
So got to get those in the mail.
You've got to get them in the mail today. You can go online.
Yeah.
You can file an extension. So you don't have to have it all done. You can just file the extension.
So we've got that deadline of April 15th, less than a month away. That's for people to file their individual tax returns.
Correct. 29 days away.
Yeah. Whew. Deciding how to get the actual tax return prepared, I know can be very stressful for some people. Some people decide to do it themselves. Others pay someone to do it. How much does it cost to get tax returns prepared?
You know, it really varies, and I'll use a very technical tax term. I call it pile of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And it depends on how much stuff you have that really you can do it yourself. If you have, things like just one or two pieces of paper that has a W-2 or something, you can go on the IRS website and do it for free.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if you have a little bit more, you can go online and you actually pay a little more so that you can do it yourself, but you have the AI, I'll call it, to help you out. But a lot of people like going somewhere and being face-to-face and having someone prepare their return, and so that's a little more. But if you really have a lot of information, it's best to seek professional help at CPA.
Yeah, definitely don't want to miss anything. Of course, you said mountains of tax forms. Which do we complete for our personal taxes?
Well, you start out with the 1040. So that is the page one, and that really gets you started. And if you only have one or two forms, that's really the only thing you need. But the more complex your tax situation, you'll start here, but then it may lead you to other forms to that 1040. But certainly the 1040 is where you start. Okay,
so we've got the 1040, and then the first steps kind of after that for filing that individual tax return.
It's a check the box, and people think, oh, that's, doesn't have much impact. But really, your status has a very big impact on the whole return, especially your rates. So your rates can be lower if you're married filing jointly than it is married filing separately. So you really do have to determine which status you need to file the very first thing on the return.
And why does it matter where you start?
Well, it's because everything is drawn on that. So your tax rates are there. We'll get to dependents in a minute. If you have dependents, you are really computing your taxes based on the status that you select.
Speaking of dependents and children, talk about the importance of listing your kids on your tax return.
It gets a little, it's I would say simple. Once you have the small child, you certainly have to put the Social Security number on there. But once they get a little older, up to age 19, you put them on there and you're able to select them, because usually you're taking care of their finances and paying over half of their livelihood. But once they may get out of the house or go to college or something, you do have some years up to 24 that you can still claim as a dependent. But what's tricky there is if you have them working and they're working and making money, depending on how much money they're making, you just have to really kind of check to see if you do keep them as a dependent, that's going to help your return, or it's better for them to select themselves when they're that age. But after age 24,
they're off.
They're off.
Yeah, you can't claim them anymore.
Correct.
What are some helpful websites for people looking for more information and kind of guidance right now?
The two you really need to concentrate on is the IRS website. That's the first one, irs.gov. And then living in South Carolina and you're filling out that South Carolina return, then it's the dor.sc.gov website. And then, of course, my website's there in case you have some questions.
I was going to say, where can people find you? That's www.DougSnyderCPA.com. And we were just talking about your busy season. I know it's going to ramp up soon here.
It's very busy.
Yeah. All right, Doug, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.